Welcome to Agora Singapore Speech Contest Training Session number 3. The first contestant, Miss Mona Mehra, speaking on Workplace Integrator. Workplace Integrator. Please put your hands together to welcome Mona Mehra.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. My name is Mona Mehra. I'm a workplace and a home integrator. I showcase similarity of operations between a workplace and a home so that people get better work-home balance, so that they are more engaged, happier, satisfied in their workplaces, and they are more productive. Okay, the title of my speech today is The Right to Respect. Okay. How many of you think that the work that we do needs to be respected? Raise your hand if it is yes. Okay. Sheena gets up at morning 5 o'clock. She packs her tiffin of her children. Then she sends them off to school. And after that, she packs the tiffin and breakfast of her husband. She has 2 ailing in-laws who have hypertension and diabetes. She prepares separate breakfast for them, feeds them, takes care of them. And after that, she has to cook for, lunch. And by the time she finishes lunch, the kids are there and she has to teach them. And thereafter, in the evening, snacks time, and then there it's dinner time. And by the time she finishes, it is already 11 o'clock. Sheena is an educated mother who's kept aside her career just to take care of her family because she believes that she would do a better job than a maid. Also, they're a middle-class family and they cannot afford a full-time maid. Every time she is in a social gathering, she is told, why don't you get a real job? And Sheena wants to scream in frustration that I spend 16 to 18 hours working. Why there is no respect for the work I do? Anil has the same crowds. Anil has left his job to take care of his teenage daughter who's going through depression. The doctor has told that your daughter is going through mental depression and the family needs to take care of her. He left his job because his wife is working in a multinational firm and she's busy. He takes her to therapy, takes care of her home, and sometimes takes her projects. Every time he is with his friends, he's told, why don't you get a real job? He is sick and tired of their constant demeaning. Sheena and Anil are homemakers. They are not looking for money because they are fine with their arrangement. All they want is some respect for what they do at home. Now, who is a homemaker? And why is there no respect for homemakers in the society? Now, first, who is a homemaker? A homemaker is the roles we play in a home of a mother, father, husband, wife, in-laws, daughter-in-law, etc. We all play these roles. And what is that work that we do in a home? Do you consider the work at the home as work? Laundry, cooking, cleaning is work? Please raise your hand if you consider that as work. Now, all this work at home ironically goes out, and when it is done for money, it becomes business, it is accepted as work. It becomes laundry business, it becomes food business, it becomes caregiving business, or it becomes crash business. But then why is it not accepted as work in a home? Let me tell you why. Some decades ago, some people decided to call work as work only when it is done for money. Now and what we see all around is just the repercussion of the same. Now, let me give you an example. If I make this cup of tea, is that work? Yes, it takes time and it takes effort. Now, what happens if I make this tea myself? Then it will not be accepted as work. But if I make it in my neighbor's home for money, it will be accepted as work. You see, according to the policy, it is work only when it is done for money. That means nobody can do their own work. Everybody has to look at somebody else to do their work. They have to look for mates. That means a mother, father never did any work because it does not qualify that as work. When your perspective, the value of the work is, the perspective value of the work is zero, then the respect is zero. And that's why there is no respect for homemakers in the society. According to UN statistics, around 75% of the work done in a home of domestic work and a caregiving work is done by women. And that makes 13% of the GDP of the world. And in India, around 49% of women contributes to the GDP, but that is not accepted as work. This policy that work is only work when it is done for money is absolutely wrong. If you agree with me, then spread awareness about the anomaly in the system. How many of you will talk to your neighbors, families, or other people about this anomaly in the system? Please raise your hand. Work is work anywhere, if it is done paid or unpaid. The mother and father should have the right to respect. They should have the right to take credit of the work done. There is no replacement for a parent, and they have the right to respect. Thank you.
Great job, Mona. This is a much improved version, and you did it within 7 minutes, 26 seconds. Excellent timing.
Thank you. I was getting
Excellent
late.
timing. Okay, your message is very clear. Your message is definitely there to spread the message. Why do we want to spread the message? The awareness, to have respect for all these people, is because people do not know work, whether in the office or at home, it is work. Deserve respect. So that message is a wonderful thing. But why do we need to spread the message? Because many people do not get the respect they deserve, right? And they feel very humiliated, frustrated, demeaning, and things like that. So this thing, to me, is really very good. And how could we improve on that? Okay, now you took quite a bit of time, about 1 minute, to explain what is a homemaker, for example, right? Now, do we need to define that, or can we weave that impliedly in the script itself, because you can save 1 minute if you do not need to explain what is a homemaker. In fact, you don't need, or even need, you can save another minute if you do not have to explain what does a homemaker actually do. You can weave that into the story already when you talk about Anil or Sheena, right? So that is the method for you to save time. No need to explain the theory, because the theory will become obvious when you tell the story. It's there, right? Now, what else can we do? You explain the theory why people do not show respect, okay, to the homemaker, right? When you use a cup of tea and telling us about the different perspective. That one, again, I think you spend a little bit more time than you need to explain that concept, because that concept itself, you need not even use a cup of tea, for example, because by Sheena's story, by Anil's story, you can already explain that this work from home is work. It just happened that it's not in the office. It's just happened that people do not give you a job title or wear a necktie or something. It is work. So why am I telling you do this? Because you spend 1 minute 30 seconds on Sheena's story. I feel if you spend a little bit more time, instead of explaining to people certain thing, you can paint the picture in their mind, let them visualize what really happened, right? Instead of talking about Anil, his wife, at a social gathering where people ask, why don't you get a real job? You can actually just start the story with this scene in your mind about a social gathering where people gather, and then the proud mother with a child is in the room, but suddenly her esteem got damaged because people look down on her. People comment this about her, comment that about her. So if you can do that, then you can put in the message straight away. Does she deserve this? Right? Do you think we should show her respect? Each time, raise your hand, right? So that you can do that. You can get the audience to be with you. Your idea of asking question and asking people raise a hand is very effective, because you say it at the right time. So we all raise our hand, and it's very crucial. Now, quoting statistics is important. You have statistics from USA and India. That's very good. When you quote statistics, you got to slow down a bit so that people can absorb, because, yeah. Now, also, to give it credibility, you just don't say statistics in USA show this, right? If you can say which report by which university in what year, then it becomes more credible than just saying, oh, Indian statistics show this, American statistics show that. Even you say statistics from India, you can say research done by which organization, published about which date, right? And it proved this, for example. Then it gives you the more credibility. Okay, so my main message is cut down the time you spend defining and explain the meaning of homemaker, defining and explain what does homemaker do, and use the time to build the stories. And you plant the message inside the story itself and call for action each time you finish a story. And then when you're in the conclusion, you summarize. Do you want your wife to feel so humiliated like Sheena in a social gathering? The next time your family has a party, do you want your wife to feel like that? Then people, if you say no, right, you raise your hand, right? Or would you like to do something to stop your wife from suffering like that? Yeah, raise your hand. Or do you want your husband, right? You want your husband to feel so ashamed when she don't have a proper job in front of all the guests in your party? No, right? Show us. then you want to do something about it, raise a hand. Okay, so you got to build a story like that. Because of conclusion, you want to like reinforce the message and ask people to, would you tell a neighbor, would you pick up the phone today to talk to just one person, or talk to two person? You just say, if one person talk to two person, and you ask the two person to talk to another two person each, within 1 week, 1 million people, right, will be aware, and the world will change because you make the phone call. Okay, so you build your message about like that. Okay, so this is my feedback to you. Next week we try again. Polish. Now the diamond is beginning to, from raw diamond is taking shape. Is it has not shined as bright as it could yet, but you're on the way there. Okay. Dr. Halima, you raise a hand, doctor. Do you want to say something? Okay. Charan, do you raise a hand, Charan?
Yes, yes.
Okay, please.
I mean, this is only my suggestion. The care taken by a maid is incomparable with the mother's love. The feeding time, they will feed their children what is best for them. The maid may swallow the thing and say the child. I mean, this is human nature.
Right, right.
So I think you need to put a bit of that human nature inside. I mean, you have to rephrase it. Mine is very rough. Mine is very super rough diamond, just taken out from the girl. I mean, if you feel it's comfortable, then you put it.
Okay. Okay,
Because
good.
mother's love, it is never same as a maid's love. Maid is there for money. You'll never be able to provide same service.
Yeah, agree, absolutely.
Whether the what call dressing up the children or whatever it is, the maid probably say you go wear yourself. Here the mother will have to some touch and say, okay, your collar needs something, need to pull up your pants or whatever it is. The touch is there. The touch will be remembered all their life. The maid after 1 or 2 years may change about. So there's no memories of the maids. This is only my suggestion. I'm a man.
Absolutely.
So my wife was a housewife.
Absolutely. What
You are
said is
blessed. You are blessed. Your wife.
No, I told my wife, I think that your children's care is more important than going to work and earning extra. I say we cannot have 2 meals ourselves, we have 1 meal. But the children must have 3 or 4 meals.
Agree. Absolutely. Okay, I think Ishan want to go next. Ishan, are you ready, Ishan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I start.
No. Wait. Ishan, which speech contest do you want to take part in?
Social awareness.
Same as Mona, is it? Okay. So that will be the social awareness.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how much time you're given to speak?
Yes, sir.
How much time is that?
5 to 7 minutes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Wait, there's somebody in your background talking, is it? Okay.
So now I am okay.
Okay. Ishan, have you read the contest rule?
Yes, sir.
You have. Okay, can you give me your phone number?
Yes, sir.
What is your phone number?
87
87
20
20
999.
999
Yes. 537.
537. I repeat, 87 20 999 537.
Yeah, sir.
And if we are calling you from Singapore, we have to put a +91 in front, right?
Okay,
The country code, correct?
okay, sir.
Don't okay is right or wrong, you must tell me. I'm asking you a question. Am I right? Ishan, what is the title of your speech?
Plastic throw on the road.
Wait, speak slower. I cannot hear you.
Yes, sir. What do you say?
What is the title of your speech?
Plastic throw on the road.
The kid
Plastic throw on the road.
throw on the road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The kid thrown on the road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you see my screen, Ishan? Can you see my screen?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you able to time yourself? Do you have a timer?
Okay, sir.
Do you have a watch, a clock, or something to time yourself?
Okay, sir. Yes, good.
Do you have a timing device that you can check how much time you're speaking?
Okay, sir. Perfect.
No, I'm asking you a question. Can you understand my question?
Sir, what do you say? Please repeat.
I say, do you have a timing device to time yourself? Do you have a stopwatch or a clock or something?
No, sir. I have don't know.
Okay, anyway, you have 5 to 7 minutes and I will introduce you. Then you will speak for 5 to 7 minutes, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next contestant, all the way from India, Ishan Ahmed, the kid thrown on the road. The kid thrown on the road. Ishan Ahmed, please proceed.
A very happy good evening everyone to present here. Myself Ishan Ahmed, a student of grade 8 from India. So today's my speech title is Plastic Throw on the Road. So everyone uses plastic in our daily lives. But nowadays people waste plastic where they are throw away. People's attitude has ruined the environment. It has also made the place dirty. So, my dear friends, now I'm sharing my 3 personal stories. Please listen carefully. Story number 1. One day, my mother and I went to the market, bought by something from the market. It was very hot day. Then we entered a mall. When we took then of the goods, we found plastic lying on the road. I asked my mother, "What is this?" My mom said that nowadays people throw plastic wherever they are. I did not mind so much. I told my mom to buy a ice cream. Then my mother bought a ice cream I ate ice cream and threw it on the side of the road. When I come home, my mother asked, "When you throw packet?" So I thought I threw it on the side of the road. My mother said, "There will be dirty space wherever you throw it." Then I immediately went to pick it up from wherever I dropped it and threw it in the dustbin. So history number 2. One day I was coming from school. I entered park with my father. There was a boy sitting with his mother. The boy ate chips and threw it where he's sitting. One thing I remembered when I saw the boy was that one day I too ate chips and threw them away. Then my mother said, "My son should always chew on plastic dustbin because plastic dirty on our environment." After falling into this ward, I picked up the plastic that the boy had thrown and threw dustbin. After seeing me, the plastic used by the boy mother was thrown away the dustbin. Then the boy told me that, "Brother, I have given you a promise that I always throw plastic on the dustbin." Story number 3. One day I all about a ice cream on the outside the train. Then I saw on the train. And then I told my mother, the end who tree on plastic outside anywhere, because all of these dirty other people understand my tone. All of people do clean on the outside of the train. Thus, this might be one message, one public message: don't throw, use a dustbin. We will promise to today, don't throw on the road. Please raise hand, all of who is promised. Yes, okay. So today's big problem is nowadays people throw plastic anywhere they are. Surprisingly, dustbin could not see very little. So wherever people throw plastic away, as a result, a lot of suffering to the society. Plastic has transformed our lives. Plastic due to our environment, that when we are sick, there are also a variety of problems. We all have to be aware that I will not be able to tell the suffering of the society. We are don't throw anywhere on plastic. We use dustbin. What I have presented today is one of the objective of how we will become aware of the plastic. We are not throw plastic in anywhere. So let's come on. We are all promised we are don't throw plastic anywhere. And we all use a dustbin. So thank you everyone. Give me a precious time. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Great work, Ishan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ishan. I will invite our friends to share some feedback, and then I will also want to share my feedback to you. Maybe we ask Ita to share her observations and maybe some idea how to improve on this speech. Ita,
Okay.
please.
Hi, Mr. Banteng, and what is your name? Ispan Ahmed. Okay, thank you, Mr. Banteng, for the time. Yes, actually, I really appreciate for Isan to speak in this meeting, because I think this is the first time of him. Seems like me in the few months ago that we need to practice and practice, but actually a little bit difficult to understand about the pronunciation of Iksan, because maybe India a little bit different, right? Same like me, we need to improve actually. Because I think that's from me, Mr. Benteng. Thank you for the time.
Okay, thank you, Ita. Okay, Ishan, do you hear the feedback about from Ita that he cannot
Yes,
hear
sir.
you correct? Okay, so when you're speaking to international audience, they are not all from India or from your same city. So they may be like Ita in Indonesia, me and Charan in Singapore, or earlier Brian from America. So when you speak to international audience, you got to pronounce your word clearer, maybe also speak a little slower. Okay, so that's one tip for you. Now, yes, you have a very amazing topic about plastic thrown on the road. I felt it's worthy of a message to the world that they should not throw plastic. Now you are given 3 stories. I heard the first story and the second story very clearly, but the third story I cannot hear because of technical issue. So I totally missed that. So next time you speak, you got to see whether anybody else in your home that is using your internet. Because if too many people use internet, or if your internet access is not very good, then you have a disadvantage because people cannot hear you. Sometimes it's very draggy, and you got to find a way how to solve this problem, which I cannot solve for you. Now, I move on to the next point, Ishan. You want people to throw plastic into the waste basket and not throw it on the road. I think the message is good, but it can still be better. Why? Number one, it's not going to make a lot of difference whether you throw on the road or throw in a basket, because the plastic is still around. You still send it to somewhere else, but it doesn't reduce the number of plastic in the environment. So if you can, maybe you tweak it a little bit, that in fact we should minimize or avoid, if we can, using plastic. First step is maybe don't throw on the road, throw in proper place. And then second is, of course, minimize the use of plastic. So that may be a stronger message. And behind all that, Ishan, you got to consider one thing. You have not told us or make us feel what is so bad about throwing plastic on the road or on the bus. What is so bad about it? You assume we know, right? But you need to tell us, because it doesn't mean everybody agree with you it's so bad to throw plastic on the road or anywhere else. So you must spend some time telling us about the harm it does to the environment or to the animals who got trapped in the plastic, or the turtle who or the cow who ate a lot of plastic and died because there's too much plastic in the stomach. So you must tell us why it is so bad to throw plastic everywhere, or why it's so bad we are using so much plastic every day. Okay. I think Ita raised a hand. I'll invite Ita to share some information.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Banteng. Thanks a lot for your explanation about Ishan theme or material. Actually, for now, I assist some of the students for the science competition, international competition related with Ishan speech just now. We speak about the ecoenzyme, and especially for the waste, how use the waste from the house become useful product. So you must to not only speak its son, you have to show what does the meaning of the waste and the plastic, and then after that you can create by PowerPoint, or you can use Canva to practice how to speak and how to show the audience about your presentation. What do you need about, what do you mean about the plastic as a waste or the plastic as a useful products? And it makes international audience will understand and more interest with your speech, even though your dialect or your pronounce may be little bit more difference with us, because I am also from Java, from Indonesia. It's totally different with maybe Brian or our friend from Europe or from England, which is their speech much better than us. You can show about your theme with application to support you. Yeah, I understand speech in front of the public or the audience little bit make us little bit not self-confidence. Maybe it's the first time. Yeah, you can use that one. Use the application or to show your purpose. That's from me, Mr. Banpeng.
Thank you. That's very good. Okay, you can explore something else. I'll show you. Okay, if you want to talk about plastic waste, you can do a little bit like what I do. You can talk about it and you can show this picture, for example. Can you see the backdrop about plastic waste? I think this one may be taken from Indonesia or somewhere.
Hey, it's not Indonesia, Mr. Banpeng.
Or you may show how the animals suffer, for example. Can you see this? Right? Or you may also want to show something like this one. Even the crab or something in the sea, they trap inside the plastic bag and then they will die. Right? Or you may want to show something like this. Tons and tons of plastic waste. So even if you throw into the trash bin, it will still end up like that. So it doesn't solve the problem. Ishan, can you see my video, my picture?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can explore. These are things you can explore. I'm just giving you an idea. Okay, I just happen to have this to demonstrate some technique. Huh? Okay, now let's move on. Maria, can you hear me, Maria?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you remember the feedback from your friends during the last meeting?
No, sir. Actually, in the last, I have some network issue.
Because you are doing a speech that is 8, 9, 10 minutes, right? Educational speech, storytelling.
I think social awareness speech.
Sorry?
Social awareness.
Social awareness. Okay, that case is 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me jot down 5, 6, 7. Did you have time to polish up your speech?
Yeah, I have.
You have. Okay. Do you need me to help you with the timing? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, in your back.
Can you see this? This means 5 minutes has passed. This means what? Maria?
Yellow color in the
what does it
background.
mean? What does yellow mean?
6 minutes passed.
Very good. And can you see the color now?
It's time over.
Yeah,
7
it
minutes
means
passed.
7 minutes, and that means you have 30 seconds to complete. Okay. Okay. And what is the topic of your speech today?
Child labor.
Child labor. Okay. Okay, I will introduce you and then I will set the timer. When you are introduced, you give yourself like 3 seconds at least, or 5 seconds, just to stare at the camera, right? And get your breathing comfortable before you start speaking. Don't rush into giving. The moment your name is announced, you rush into speaking. That is not good for you. So you wait a few seconds, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 3, from all the way from India, Miss Maria, speaking on child labor. Child labor, Maria.
So good evening, everyone. Myself, Maria Shams. I'm a student of grade 8 from New Delhi, India. Today, I want to talk about an important topic, which is major threat to children. And what is that? Can you guess it? Anyone?
Child labor.
Yeah, it's child labor. Child labor is a crime in which child are forced to work at a very young age. It considered an illegal activity because child labor between the age of 5 to 15 are not yet ready to work anywhere. It is sad to see that the age at which children should enjoy childhood are forced to work and enter uh, adulthood. Millions of children around the world are forced to work, which robs them of having a childhood education and a good future. The age at which child should live their fullest life to force work at dangerous construction site. The major of these children are age of 5 to 15 and they work almost 16 hours per day to help their families make ends meet. As children grow older, their involvement is in getting old jobs also increase as they have to provide for their families. In India, 20 to 30% of children aged 15 to 17 are involved into doing dangerous jobs, which could be selling drugs or cigarettes on the street. India is a developing country in spite of the recent economic boom. 1/3 of the Indian population life become the poverty line, which is considered to be the primary reason for child labor in our country. People living in such condition don't have food to eat. That is the reason they make their child work due to poverty. Parents sell their child or them on the street, which is turn causes many crimes like child tracking and sex tracking. These incidents are forced to all job and could range from selling drugs, cigarettes, and even begging. The Indian government has passed a law against child labor in 1993, forbidding dangerous work that could cause harm to children under the age of 18. Do you know how many children laborers are there in India through 2022? They were 6.8 million, more than 8 million, 6.8 million. Aged 5 to 11 in child labor in 2022, then in 2016. Child labor, unless urgent mitigation measures are taken, new analysis suggests a further million. And now I'm going to share a story about Hamisi, even though he is only 11 years old. You know, it's age to play. And Hamishi already has had a career as a minor. He dropped out of his third year of primary school and left his home village of Makumira in Tanzania after his father was unable to pay for his uniform and school fees. Although Hamisi parents have their own coffee farm, their income fell sharply because of the decline in market price for coffee throughout the world. Hamisi had heard stories of people making money from mining and decided to try his luck. He asked to his mother for a small amount of money to buy some socks and other items, but instead using this for the bus fare to Merirani, a town in North Tanzania, about 17 kilometers from his hometown. When he arrived at the village, he approached a boy and asked him where the mining site was located. It was very difficult for him to get work right away because he was a newcomer and had no relatives there. But he tried, and the following day, he and another child of their age were sent down into the pit where the gemstone Tanzisa side was being mined to deliver tools and break up used bottles of drinking water from the day he worked as a service boy, going back and forth between the surface and the pits. You have got too deep into the mine pit by a rope. Take what you have been ordered and then go back to the surface. Then those who go into the mining need to wear a special torch or flashlight on their forehead to find the wear around their skin turns black because of humidity and heat as well as the mud. Hemisi say, I nearly suffocated inside the pits due to an inadequate supply of oxygen, he adds. And uh, do you know, Hemisi often worked up to 18 hours a day with only one meal of buns and boiled or cooked cassava. Children work in the Merirani mines earn the equivalent of between 60 cents and $1.20 a day when they are given tasks to do. But like many others, Hamisi was disappointed by travel condition. So this is, and he did not make the future that he had heard about. So this is the story of Himanshi. This is very emotional story of Himanshi. He's only 11-year-old and how they work in mining. And now I'm going to share one more story. This is Algendra, 12 years old Algendra. He woke up at 4 in the morning by her father. She does not go to school, but goes to collect, curious, and it is more important to make sure that things should know to make it through a work day that can mean spending up to 14 hours in the mud. These items include about a dozen cigarettes and 4 pills to keep her from falling asleep. A good part of the money that she earns goes to buy these things. It is the mangrove swamp without shoes. Alejandra has to face bad weather, mosquito bites, and cuts and scrapes from having to pull the quills out from deep in the mud. The cigars help to repel the mosquito, but when she runs out of the cigars, Alejandra has to put up with the insect as she moves from branch to branch, from one area to another area in the search of shells. When she turns from her walk, her body is nearly always covered with bites. She earns very little money, and the price is over $1.40. This is very little money, and even these both stories are very emotional, and you know how they both children are struggling from with their lives and earn very little money to eat food and fill their stomach. And now I would like to conclude my speech by saying that the remedy is only in the hand of the government. It's need to take the necessary step to get rid of poverty by giving in employment to the parents of child laborers. It is necessary to educate children. The government should allocate the necessary funds to educate poor children. I want to share one thought with you. Buildings are built in big lands. Work is done by teeny hands. Stop child labor, stop child labor, stop child labor. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. excellent, excellent, excellent. Who would like to give some feedback to Maria? Maybe Trisha, welcome. Say something.
Hi everyone. Hello, gang. I have fallen from the skies and decided to land for a speech training in Agora, Singapore, like always. Well, I wasn't able to attend last week, so that's why I wanted to make it up for this week. And I was graced by Maria's wonderful and enlightening speech. I really felt the emotion. Should I say something? What's that? Continue an evaluation for this, Van Peng?
um, I think Maria is really very good. Her eye contact and her conviction, the emotion I felt is very good. I'm wondering what can we do to help her make it even better?
Something to make it even better. All right, I'm still fresh from the oven. I honestly anything is amazing, wonderful, spectacular, and Maria really nailed down all of those points for me. What I liked, I'm gonna mention a couple of the qualities that she had, is that she really had a large range of vocal variety. When she was getting emotional about the rate of child labor that is happening in her country, you can really feel the desperate, you can see her desperate eyes, how desperate it is for people out there who are experiencing this. So she does a really good job in putting the audience in their shoes. So we can really feel what it's like to be in their position. And that's something really important, especially when it comes to speeches that is spreading awareness. So I believe this is for social awareness then,
Yes.
the topic, right?
Right.
Okay, social awareness, yes. This is a perfect topic for social awareness. And when it comes to that, emotion is really important. You're not just putting up a label, not a label, but a heading, child labor in India, the crisis, it's really high and we need to solve this. Only that, and well, people maybe some will pay attention to it, but some may be indifferent and decide to just pass on and move on with their lives. But if you really show how important and how desperate this is, that is what gets people to act. And I really love that. I believe it would be a lot better if you can make the call to action clearer. I guess since I jumped out and out of the meeting because of my poor connection. So I wasn't able to catch everything about your call to action. So maybe you can make that a little stronger towards the end, or perhaps you can enlighten me, Ban Peng, or Maria as well, because I missed a couple of the points.
No.
But then again,
Yeah,
yes.
you're absolutely right, Tricia. The action steps is not there, right? You must be very clear and tell people what you want them to do, right? You give a conclusion that the remedy is in the hands of the government, and the government has to give employment to the parents and then have to educate the children. So this is the remedy, the solution. But in that case, what am I supposed to do after I listen to you? Do I go and change the government, or do I become part of the government, or what can I do? So there's 10 marks for action steps. So if there's no action steps, number one, it's not so good, because after listening, people are aware, but they do not know what to do to make a difference. So you have to tell them, like Trisha said, you got to make it very clear. This is what I want you to do. Right? Okay, so we will have quite a few more sessions, but each time I can see you are making great improvement. So I'm very hopeful that you'll be one of the bright sparkling diamond very soon. Okay, thank you, Trisha. We will give other Ita and the rest share some feedback. Yeah, thank you, Trisha. Ita, would you want to share something?
No, sir. Let Tricia give back.
Okay. Now I have one important feedback. You spoke for more than 8 minutes, so you will be disqualified if you do not if you exceed the time limit. In other words, you need to practice and time yourself. Yeah, time yourself. Make sure that you only speak for 7 minutes, for example, because during the presentation you may delay and take up another 30 seconds, for example. Okay, so you need to practice. Make sure that you keep within the time. Number one. Number two, like Trisha said, your stories are very good stories. They are very touching. They really touch my heart to think of Hamisa working in the mines, and then there's very little air in the mines. She almost suffocated, and she had to work 18 hours a day, and she only had one meal a day, right? So I thought the information is good, and if you spend a bit time describing her life in the mine, it will make us really want to cry. Okay, and that is a very important part, because when people feel outraged by her suffering, then they are more likely to take action. Okay, and then she only make, after all the suffering, she make maybe 60 cents or $1.20 for the whole day. And for the story of Alexandra, I thought it's an amazing story of this girl having to stand in the mud the whole day, digging for shells or clams or something, right? And she's all dirty, and she has to smoke cigarette to keep herself awake. Am I right? Okay, and for all the suffering in the mud and in the sun, she gets $1.40 a day. Okay, and why is that so? Because her parents do not have employment, and because she herself is not educated, she got no other choice. So that is a real tragedy, and I'm very glad you bring up this type of example, because these are things we can relate to, and these are the things that make us angry and we want to take action. Okay, so spend a little bit time on that part of it. I think your opening, there's no need to have such a long opening to tell people about child, meaning 8 to 15-year-old, child labor, work for 16 hours. The opening, that part actually you do not need very much. You did not go and define all these things. By your story, you will be able to explain all these things. And the facts you presented about 6.8 million children between age of 5 and 11 working in India. I think these statistics like pop up right in front of my face, and I felt, oh dear, this is really terrible. So these are very important information that you have brought up. So Maria, my conclusion is excellent delivery, excellent speech, content. You need to fine-tune a little bit to make it shine like a diamond that it is. Okay? Well done, Maria. Okay, now, yeah, you did very well. I congratulate you. Ita, do you want to go next, Ita? Yeah, you need to unmute yourself.
I don't think so. I just
You got overwhelmed by all these great young speakers.
all of you for great at me.
wait till you hear Jose. I think you will cry and you will laugh. He's such a great speaker. Jose, welcome. I'm so happy to see you again. You left such a great impression on me that I really no, the last round, I must say you are the best. Okay, but you be careful, because these people are polishing their script and they are catching up with you very fast. So you got to keep on improving as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jose, do you want to go first or you want Trisha to go first?
Trisha, go first. I mean, I still have to prepare my speech, Bang Bang. Now I feel
No,
Okay, so
you.
you are delivering your speech today. Okay.
No,
All
no.
right.
you-
no.
So
Okay.
I am with the short time that I have left, I'm planning to take both educational speech and storytelling. But today I'd like to deliver my speech for educational first, Van Peng.
Okay. Education, how much time is that one for?
At 8 to 10, if I'm not
So it'll
mistaken,
be
right?
8, 9, 10 for the color
Yep.
sequence, yeah?
8,
And
9,
what
10.
is the title of your speech?
I'm still working on that.
Okay, try anything first.
Okay, I will say styles of parenting for now.
Style parenting,
Styles, yes, styles of parenting.
styles of parenting. Okay, I like that very much. You should have given the speech 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
It would have helped me. Now it's too late. It's too late for me.
Well, you are our parents now,
Okay.
if you think about it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4, all the way from Jakarta, Indonesia, Trisha Kirana, styles of parenting. Styles of parenting, Trisha Kirana. Yeah!
As the famous saying goes, a child is the reflection of a parent's behavior, which, if we pay attention to our surrounding nowadays, has become a quote to age quite well. As a matter of fact, many aspects of our personalities directly show the kind of environment we are used to living in. Perhaps some may be harder to dissect than others, but the things you witness as a young teeny lad, where the brain is still fast and developing in catching new things, it can be quite enough to tell the story of why a person acts and behaves in a certain way. And those who are responsible are, of course, the parents or the child's guardian, which is why I would like to dive deep into this rabbit hole on the 4 types of parenting styles. Now, according to a research by psychologist Diana Baumrind in the 1960s, she has identified and categorized 4 types of parenting styles. Doesn't seem like a lot, huh? But apparently, this model is still relevant till this day, and many psychologists use it as reference. To favor us with visuals, this is what the whole chart looks like. As you can see, there are 4 types in each box: authoritarian parents, authoritative parents, permissive parents, and neglectful parents, which in each type is categorized on 2-dimensional behaviors like warm and accepting, demanding, cold, and unaccepting, to help understand the style simpler, which we'll be going through along the way. Now, to start off, let's look at the authoritarian parents. These parents love their children, but command strict rules and high expectations. They're high in demand, but low in responsiveness, especially when understanding the child's emotional needs. Parents like these will use everything in their authority to tell their children off, using what I like to call the end all argument sentences. Like, you have to follow these orders because I said so, or because I'm your parent, because this is my house, and you have to follow everything that I tell you. Through this, however, they leave no room for discussion with their children, just blind obedience. And if they ever cry, talk back, or do something bad in their parents' eyes, they will be punished in many ways, justifying mean treatment as to toughen up their kids. This results in the kids to think that suppressing emotions is the best way to get through the day, avoiding making their parents upset by following all the set rules. However, the effect is that they'll have a harder time in making decisions for themselves once they grow up. as their parents have always been the one to do so. They may end up living the life of what their parents have dreamed of, but it doesn't make them happy in the inside. The second style is called permissive parenting. And contrary to the previous one, these parents will give all the attention in the world without any boundaries, fulfilling all their child's wishes, whether they want a new toy, ice cream, a puppy, you name it, they'll be getting it all. There is no such thing as saying no in this family, giving absolute freedom for the child. A good and extreme example of this would be the spoiled rich kid from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Veruca, if anyone has watched it. She would boss around her wealthy father who doesn't have the heart to say no and get literally anything she wants. As a result, kids who are raised this way tend to become a person with no boundaries, doing only the things that they think is right. There cannot be conflict with any of these people, or else it will blow off into a whole tantrum, acting inconsiderate without any limits. This is where the power of saying no really comes in handy, everyone. Now, the third style, and perhaps the only one praised with magnificent results, is authoritative parents. While it sounds a lot like authoritarian parenting, they also have standards for high achievements, but are also warm and very accepting. They reinforce rules and boundaries after discussing with their children, explaining the outcomes while also letting the children express their opinions. These parents are compassionate and supportive every step of the way. If hardship comes, they give the necessary encouragement, but also highlight the importance of independence, letting their child gradually overcome the obstacles by themselves, developing the maturity they will need for the future. Kids with these types of parents are likely to grow up as confident and independent individuals. They are active in social groups, expressing their opinions in an appropriate manner. They feel happy under their own skin, not afraid of trying out something new, handling each consequences responsibly in their own hands. And last, the type I feel is the most upsetting of them all is neglectful parents, or also known as the lost parents. They are physically present in their children's lives and have them free to do anything they want, but rarely praise or give any sort of feedback to the children's accomplishment. Being uninvolved and not realizing the changes that is happening to their children because they didn't get the nurturing and parental attention that they deserve. Children who are neglected often feel lonely in the world, assume everything they do will be pointless because nobody cares anyway. The lack of attention also leads to a lack of trust in themselves, seeking out the attention they've been wanting through a partner or a friend instead, which often results in being insecurely attached with them. So, stop feeling unworthy of love, they try to feel nothing at all. So, with that note, that concludes our run through for all of the 4 parenting styles. Well, the results sound very concrete. Different families may always encounter different outcomes, and each result that is mentioned won't always be the same as what you learn here. But from the bundle of styles that exist, the most effective parenting, advised by Diana Barman herself, is to have a good balance between demandingness and responsiveness. Parents don't always resort to a specific style. It can be a mix and match between everything based on the given situation. So, for all the parents out there, or perhaps soon to be parents, it's good to know that the way we are now can have a deep rooted connection with our upbringing. How we behave can truly impact those around us. Because, as they say, monkey see, monkey do. So, my friends, always remember to be mindful of how you want to act and treat others around you. Because children don't just learn through words, but most importantly, they also learn through action. Back to you, Ben Peng.
Oh, goodness. Such a treat
Thank
to
you.
listen to your presentation. You are simply amazing. I do not know how else to describe you.
Ben Peng, I need your criticism. I need.
You are. I think now Jose know what he is up against.
Wait, Jose's doing educational too?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do too. Educational and social awareness.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't
right.
have your tail for social awareness. Don't worry. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
This is fun.
I think Trisha's skill is legendary. So we should not spend very much time praising her. She's aware of that. Let's see. Let's no, you are good. Your voice clarity is really very good. Everybody can hear you clearly. Your pronunciation, your pace of speaking is excellent. Your eye contact is excellent. Your grooming, you look really professional. I think everything looks wonderful. Yeah, only thing, everything looks wonderful. So it's really good. Now let me focus on how do we score your speech. Now the first 10 marks go to clarity and focus. Right? So clarity and focus, definitely I think you will score high. Clarity on the purpose of your speech, right? What do you want to do? And you focus on that purpose throughout your speech, which is about the parenting style. So I think that one you should do very well in that category. Use of props and visual aid. Now, what are the props and visual aids? You use a single prop visual aid, which is a series of slides. I do not know, but it is very appropriate. It is really very good. But I do not know whether if you use a physical prop, would it help to score more marks with the judges? Maybe a cane to show a disciplinarian, or I do not know. But there's something to consider because I'm not going to be judging. There'll be a panel of judges. I'm thinking of what judges will think when they are going to give marks to the different contestants, right? Will they give you more marks or will give another person more marks because he could use more than one type of prop, for example, right? So something worth considering. And appropriateness of the prop is definitely there. The second part is originality of the prop or visual aid. Originality, I do not know to what extent is that original. Definitely the work of this famous psychologist, that one cannot be original because you're educating, you're telling people what she teach, but the prop itself, the way it's presented, you may want to inject something so that it's clearly is original. Otherwise, if it's seen as not, the props are not original, then you may lose some marks. Okay, scientific accuracy. This one is a little bit tricky because the speech topic must be on a formal, natural, or social science. In this case, it's I think social science, right? Formal and social science. So in terms of scientific accuracy, you cannot go wrong because you're quoting from this authority. So factually, definitely, I feel they cannot deduct marks from you in terms of accuracy.
Right.
Okay. And your understanding of the content. Well, I'm not an expert in this area, but I feel you have very good understanding. I'm able to understand you. So, and it's very clear, the 4 segments. So it's all very clear, and the why is divided into the 4 as well. It's very clear. So I felt that was good. Okay, now whether this speech is easily understood by the general audience, I felt you did very well there as well, because you don't use unusual technical terms that people need to scratch their head. It's presented, in fact, very simply. These are the 4 categories, and this is how they behave, right? Okay, so that is wonderful. And whether or not this speech appeal to the interest of the audience, for me, of course, I'm interested, although it's too late for me. but I can tell my children, hey, watch out for this and that, right? So I think, to me, it may be not only for parenthood, for applicable for grandparenthood.
Great grandparenthood.
Yeah, and not yet, but I think it may come one day, not too far away. So that is my feedback to you. I felt overall it's quite an amazing speech. It's truly educational.
All
I
right.
think Ita raised her hand. Let me see what Ita want to share.
Thank you, Mr. Banpeng, and well done, Teresa. First of all, I would like to say thank you for your presentation and many information, full education from you, and very good presentation. But as an educational practitioner, I would like to say something to you, which is I always deals with the education of the children and the youth every day. It's better for you. It's just my suggestion, yeah. Better for you to give not only the pictures, yeah, because no video, it's hoax. Yeah, I mean like this. For example, sometimes it isn't just suggestion, yeah, because I have an experience on this. When I try to give some suggestion to the parents, which is they have a lot of children, they have many things to do at home. When I give, oh, sir, oh, ma'am, you have to do like this to your children. What do you know about the children? You don't marry yet. You don't have a children. Why do you teach me? They say like that to me. So much better. In my opinion, you can give give the video inside of your PowerPoint or presentation. Maybe you can find from the Google or experience from the senior as a recommendation. Because when we talk to the elder or we talk or in front of the audience, elder than us, sometimes they feel guilty. Oh, Trisha much better than me, even though Trisha young, you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of theory, you can read from the book, but they have a family, they have children, but they cannot like you, which is they don't read by the book, but maybe they feel guilty. Yeah, you can maybe my suggestion, you can use video from the experience of the senior or as recommendation or sometimes, and so people are more confident and believe in what you say, even though you're still young. And because I have an experience, they blame me. How do you know about the children? You don't have children yet. Why you teach me about how to teach my children? It's my culture. It's my family. Yeah, much better. You can use like Mr. Ban Peng's word, how to teach. Oh yeah, the recommendation from the senior like that. So I think that's my suggestion for this. After all, your presentation, as we know, you are the best. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking perhaps with providing data analytics
yeah, good.
of the parents that perhaps resort in a certain style and whatnot, would that maybe help?
Yeah, because if they feel guilty with how to teach their children, their ego will come up.
Okay.
Yeah, because
in a way,
we are
this
still young. Yeah.
this can be seen as calling
Because
out some parents.
I have experience for the reality life. I am a
Okay.
teacher. When I say something about their children, they feel guilty and they don't want to be blamed. Yeah, they blame me. What do you know? You're not married yet. I'm still single, but why are you? I can say about their children. They feel guilty and then their ego will come up. Just be careful on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Banpeng.
Thank you, Trisha. You are allowed 10 minutes, and in addition to that, another 30 seconds. But
Oh.
do you know how much time you use?
Yes.
About 8 minutes 30 seconds, right?
Oh, okay. So there's still
So you have time. You have time to put in more benefits to the audience.
All right.
And although you didn't really make effort to engage the audience, ask them questions or raise their hand or do this or do that, but
yes.
you have the skill to actually we feel very engaged. You need not do anything. No, really, we really feel drawn into your speech. So you have this very special ability, which I admire very much. Now,
Consider that though. All right.
Richard is in the room. Richard is a very, very experienced contestant and judge and trainer. Richard, can I invite you to give some feedback to Trisha, Richard?
My gosh.
You need to unmute. Okay.
My gosh, I'm here to listen and to just enjoy myself. And you want me to say a few words?
Yeah.
We have only 8 of us over here, and only Banpeng knows me. I have been known to be very direct, very blunt, and a straight talker. Seldom do I mince my words. If I just heap praises and compliments, I think it is of little value. Before I share my views, I have 2 queries for this competition. Why are visual aids and props necessary?
Okay.
If I do not have any props and any visual aids, that means I will get a score of 0. I think that is very unfair. Not many people like to use visual aids or props, especially for myself. When I take part in speech contests, it's very, very rare that I use props. Now, the second thing is, may I ask, how many judges will there be, Banpeng?
Okay, to tell you the truth, we are in the process of inviting people to serve on the panel of judges, and the judges are can be from anywhere in the world, but we hope to get at least 5 to 9 judges for each of the contests. But it's very difficult, honestly. I cannot get any judge for the finals from Singapore simply because the contest is like at midnight Singapore time. So we got to get judges from other places. That's the first thing. Second thing is we do not want judges to be from the Agora club members. We want the public to give their opinion, right? So it's no use to praise each other and say we are all very good, but the public do not believe us, right? So that's the other criteria. Now, your first question of why props are there as a judging criteria, I think that is something worth discussing, something we should consider for the next contest. But because this contest, the rules were not set by me, I'm the enforcer, so I couldn't explain it very well to you, except that that's the rule. So we just follow the rules. Now, whether the judges, how they are briefed is another issue. So they may be briefed slightly differently, but we expect them to follow the judging criteria. Even if they do not follow, we do not know. In a lot of contests I've experienced internationally, the judges don't really follow the judging criteria.
True.
They just go on the overall basis and they feel this is the best, they will just do it. So I don't
Yeah.
think you will be seriously disadvantaged if the judges feel that your speech makes sense, you're very persuasive, and
Okay.
stuff like that. I think judges tend to behave in that way. So that's my my not the best answer, but that's the best I can
Okay.
give you.
Okay. Okay. Let me share my views. I have a very valid reason for asking for the number of judges. I used to be the chief judge for 12 years continuously. I was invited by Tampines Junior College for 12 years as the chief judge. And we have students 16 to 18 years old, and they come from practically all the junior colleges in Singapore. So when I select the judges, I would have a minimum of 8, usually 8 to 10. And I will have a balance of 4 males and 4 females. I will have judges as young as late 20s to even into their 50s and 60s. And some of the judges are just about 2-3 years in Toastmasters, and the rest are 5 and more years in Toastmasters to ensure transparency. Because if you are in a competition, for example, you are taking part in a race, it is not the judges who decide. The judges will look whether you have a false start, whether it is in a sprint or in a swimming competition, whether you have a false start, and whether you have breasted the tape or you have touched the wall. That's all. So it is not the judges who determine whether you win or lose. It is the contestant himself. But you see, in Toastmasters, you can say whether it's fair or unfair. Some judges have preconceived ideas. They are prejudiced and they can be very, very personal. Hence, no matter how many years you take part in speech contest, you will never be placed. I don't mean whether you will be the champion. Champion is not the word. Whether you will be placed third, second, or first. You don't win and you don't lose. The words win and lose do not come into my vocabulary because the judges the judges would select you. So we do not have that choice whether we win or we lose, whether we are placed or we are not placed. So that is where judging is considered, because judges have to be professional. You cannot be biased. You have to choose the best to meet the judging criteria. Now, coming to this particular speech, may I ask Tricia, how young are you?
I am now 18 years old this year.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I can tell you, you can outspeak the majority of Toastmasters in Singapore. And I've heard many of them. So titles do not mean anything. Whether you are a distinguished Toastmaster or you have been a Toastmaster for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Really, I am very, very direct. Where the content of the speech and the substance is concerned, I always look as a judge for the content of the speech and the substance of the speech. That is the main thing. I find that your speech content and substance is very rich and very, very informative. Now I come to voice. Voice and body language in physical contests, they are not very, very important. They only complement and supplement your speech. So where your voice is concerned, I look for 3 things. One is clarity, clear enough to be understood. So your clarity is there, very obvious. Audibility, are you loud enough to be heard? Again, it is very, very evident. And the third, most important, is intensity in the voice, expressive enough to be enjoyed, so that you come across as believable and credible in whatever you share. So that is very important. Just like in taking part in debates, you must sound the voice tone, you must sound believable and credible. So again, you score very well. Now I come to the third important thing, and that is the structure of the speech. The first couple of seconds, within the first minute, how did you open your speech? Are you able to arrest, arouse, and attract the attention of the audience? Can you capture and captivate, especially the attention of the judges? So that is very, very important. Perhaps you would like to look into how you start your speech. It was excellent, but definitely it could have been better. Now, the body of your speech, very structured, very systematic, very sequential, because you have the slides to help you, you could follow. So that was, again, easy to follow, easy to understand. Wonderful. And the third thing is the closing of the speech. Again, this is very, very important. Was there a very strong call for action? Was there an appeal to the audience to do something, to take action? So what is the strong takeaway from the message? If I cannot remember whatever you have shared in the body of your speech, what is the takeaway? What is the one thing I can bring home, I can apply? Or not for me, maybe my friends, my family members. Is there a lesson to learn? Is there a moral? Is there a very, very strong message? Hence, my recommendation for your excellent, splendid, marvelous speech is fine-tune the first minute of your speech. How are you going to capture and captivate the attention of the audience, especially the judges? Very, very important. How are you going to close the speech, the conclusion of your speech? That's all I have to share.
Wow. I feel like it's a crime for me to come here empty-handed without giving anything to Richard himself. This was top-notch evaluation.
Oh no,
Excellent,
I
excellent.
would
My goodness.
normally you have to pay for feedback, you know. Today is free. Today is free.
You have
the
to go to
privilege.
Jakarta to collect it.
I'm going to Batam. I'm going to Batam first time.
Oh
Oh.
no, it's quite near.
Yeah, more picture hoax. Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm really
Thank you very
grateful.
much, Richard.
Yeah, I'm very
My
grateful
pleasure, my
for
pleasure.
Richard sharing. In fact, he went beyond what I expected. He covered even the judging and stuff like that. And I appreciate that judges are in fact quite often they have their prejudice and bias and preconceived idea. You may present a very good speech, everything wonderful, except that it's against their belief, for example. So if you give a good speech about pro-abortion or anti-abortion, and that guy is from the other camp, it's like almost certain you're finished no matter what you do. So avoid such topics there are very strong emotion if you want to win all the judges, right? So if all you need is one judge who is against you, you're finished, because if he doesn't rank you, then it's quite impossible for you to be among the top 3.
Yeah, that's it. True.
Yeah. Okay, so I agree with Richard. For the selection of the judges panel, you need their variety between the younger and the old, the different sex, and whether highly educated or less highly educated, whether they are manual worker or they are thinkers and academics. I think we need the range, and Richard has said it's a very good reason why we need that range of people to be judges, because judges, their only obligation is to express the opinion on your ranking, and their opinion is based on their life experience, right? So they are shaped by that, and you cannot help it. Whoever you appoint, the same thing is going to happen. So the important is to get a good panel of judges, like Richard has just said. So our fate is in their hands. But
True.
you have the advantage if you can speak clearly. You can have the structure, like Richard just said. So wonderful. Call for action. Call for action. I think the takeaway Richard ended up with that conclusion is important. You got to be very clear in the mind whether you want to present this as a speak to inform kind of speech. That means I'm only going to inform you. These are the 4 categories, 4 styles. You can limit yourself to that, but generally the judges like people who not only inform, but inspire, right? That compel them to want to do something really great. Okay, so while if you limit your scope to informing, you have to close with a summation. Summation means in your conclusion, you say these are the 4 styles I've covered for you. And they are blah, 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 blah. So you end up appropriately by presenting a summation. And the test of effectiveness for such a speech would be, could the judges remember the points you have presented? If they cannot remember, then it's definitely a failure, right? So, but if you want to go a step further, enhance it the way Richard proposed, then think of what is the use of having this information? What difference would it make to a person whether or not they came and they listened to you? So if it's not going to make any difference, then the speech has no value, which means you'll be marked again in the judge's eyes very lowly. So how do you add value? The contents are there. It's the closing. How do you create the value from this content? Yeah. Okay. So I will not give you the suggestion, but I think you know what to do. Okay. Let's move on. Anything you want to share, Trisha? Your feeling, your reaction?
I am typing all of the feedback down. I will consider all the things that I have received here. Honestly, this has been a treat. Thank you very much, Richard, Bang Pang, and also Miss Ita.
My
I
pleasure.
have a couple of ideas, so hopefully if there is still time, I will deliver the speech again with the fine-tuned and refined version.
I tell you, you are amazing. You can rewrite the script and present like almost immediately.
No, I will need some time.
Okay. Okay, we'll give you like 10 minutes while Jose present his speech.
No. Jose, save me.
Actually, Van Peng, I was here to see people doing their speeches because I'm actually working on my speech not right now. I still need some time. I'm still not quite prepared. So when I'm prepared, I'm ready to have some feedback. So I'll think next time.
Jose, I have good news for you.
Hmm?
You will never finish preparing your speech. The preparation,
That
no,
is
you
true.
can never have a
I
perfect
feel
speech.
that.
So you don't have to wait until you're ready. You have to speak at
Well,
whichever point in your life you are in, right? Because it's just like if you meet a very pretty girl and you want her to be your girlfriend, you cannot say, wait until I have a perfect speech before I ask her to go out with me. Somebody else would have dated her, you would have lost that girl, right? So you got to seize the opportunity whenever they arise. But anyway, that is my advice. So you think maybe we'll let Richard speak first, and then you can get inspired by Richard. Then you will want to definitely make a go for it.
What do you mean? I'm not speaking. I'm
You're not
just giving.
speaking.
I'm
Hey,
not speaking. Jose, take it.
no,
as a
that's why
dry-
I'm not speaking
Take
as
it.
well.
No, take it as a dry run. Take it as a
No.
dry run. Relax,
Jose is
enjoy
very
yourself.
good.
Yes.
Jose is
Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Just relax. Take it as a dry run. As Bumping said, the speech can never be final. Even when I take part on the day itself, couple of minutes before the speech, I will make changes here and there. Just be yourself, okay? Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Yeah, it's all in your head
Wonderful.
already.
Right. Go ahead.
The whisper. Are you going to speak on the whisper or something else?
Oh, that's what I was trying to say. Is the whisper would be qualified for the social awareness speech?
Yes, of course. You ask yourself. I tell you the approach plan. Yeah, easier. You're not experienced. You ask yourself, what is the problem today? Right, because whatever you're going to say is the solution to the problem. So can you tell me what is the problem that you're addressing?
Well, The problem in the whisper speech was basically in the speech I talked about how people were having insecurities and those kind of stuff, but I thought I didn't make it very clear, I think. So that's why I kind of thought of it as not being a real problem in today's society. I thought a problem, quote unquote problem, would be defined by, what we're facing right now, like global warming and losing a lot of soil right now. So I thought those were like real problems. Like if I were to define problem, I mean, compared to my speech regarding those fears and insecurities, I think these are just like minor. If we were to consider, that's why I thought of changing my speech. I thought
No,
of,
no.
I have this habit of making new speeches all over again.
Jose,
So
I want to stop you there, Jose. Do you know in
Yeah.
Singapore,
Yes.
every single week, there are at least 2 articles in the newspaper on mental illness, depression, anxiety, sadness, loneliness, low self-esteem. It's a very big problem. I don't think it's limited to Singapore. I think all over the world, there is this problem. And
Okay.
Singapore government is trying very hard how to solve this problem. But you do have a solution, right? All this anxiety, this loneliness, this sadness, this depression thing is because a lot of people, they feel they want to be approved, they want to be accepted, they want to be recognized, they want people to appreciate them and right, but they are not receiving the attention they want. So you have identified a really current problem and a global problem and something that needs urgent solution because Singapore, I think the government suppress or they don't encourage publishing of people committing suicide or marital breakdown or relationship problem and things like that. There's a lot of this problem arising out of this one thing, the mental issue that you have identified. So you can bring out a lot of examples of how people suffer, how families are torn apart, how childhood are what they call killed by all these things. Okay, now after my inspiration speech, are you ready to go?
Okay. Well, I do have made a speech. I don't know if it will, fit the, what do you call a social awareness speech? But I have a speech ready. So if you don't mind, I could give you that at least.
Okay. If you are doing it as a social awareness speech, it's 5 to 7 minutes. If you do it as an educational speech, it's going to be 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay. I need to prepare my slides though. So I think someone else will need to go first. I'm serious now.
I thought Richard just told
To
you
be
you do
honest,
not
I'm
need
serious
slides.
now.
Okay. That case, Trisha can go first, I'm sure. No, you can do your other speech. You say you are doing 2 content.
Oh, yes, the other speech. I
What
will
is that
have
one?
to practice that first, Ban Peng. I will deliver it next week.
Okay. So now we only have Jose.
Woo, Jose!
Okay,
Jose,
we'll
can
give
you do
you.
it without slides? Jose, can you do it without slides?
Why
Try,
don't you
give
try
it a
without
shot
slides?
first.
Richard will
Yes.
give you advice.
And next week you do it with slides.
Yeah.
Try doing it without slides. Okay,
Yes,
but
yes, yeah. Give it a
okay,
shot.
I'll try.
What is your speech topic?
My title would be The Ropes Within.
The ropes within. Oh, that is
Yes.
very exciting topic. And this is going to be that 7-minute speech or 10-minute speech.
Now, the last time I did this speech, it was like an 8-minute mark. So I think I would just go for the education instead then.
Education. So you have 10 minutes then. 9, 10. Okay. Now, if it's going to be 10 minutes, you already know how I set the timing, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so that will be 8 minutes, and this will be 9 minutes. Can you see the red?
Yes, I could see the
Okay,
red.
so that will be 10 minutes, and you have 30 seconds to wrap up the speech.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, World Championship of Public Speaking. All the way from Indonesia, Jose Adrian, The Ropes Within. The Ropes Within, Jose Adrian. Yeah.
Okay. I want you to imagine an elephant. Of course, it has incredible strength, just like this picture right here. They can lift and swing a tree effortlessly. However, some elephants, just like the one in this picture, will prefer to remain in captivity, enslaved by only a light rope. Despite his incredible ability, incredible strength to break away easily, he doesn't even try. Why? It all started when he was young. He was small and not strong enough to break free from the rope. The elephant will try at first. Try as hard as he can, try and try and try again. But eventually, he realized he can't. It was at this moment something untangible attaches itself to him, and that is stronger than any rope or chains there is. It's the belief that he can't break free. It's this very belief that holds him back, despite his incredible strength and potential. Hello, everyone. My name is Jose, and today I would like to tell you to stop believing everything you think. When I was a kid, I would describe myself as energetic or passionate, bold, not to mention insane as well. With all those imaginations and creativity going on inside my head. Can you really blame me as a kid? I was guided by my inner voice right here. There's this voice inside me. It told me what I needed to do to be happy. So, you guessed it. I let this voice inside of me to guide me where I needed to go. But as time goes on, this feeling of my childhood, all of those happy days, all of those happy memories, all of those opinions that I had, it suddenly become repressed. It's as if something was repressing me and it all faded away. As time goes on, all of these feelings inside of me turned into fear and insecurities. I don't think any of us left childhood without any ropes attached to us. I grew up in a family filled with demands and loud voices, strong opinions everywhere. To prevent any conflict, I learned to stay quiet, not standing up for myself and just practically become invisible. I was told not to trust my own voice right here and not to trust my own ability. And I feared not being perfect enough for other people around me. Even at school, I came to believe it's more important to blend in than to stand out. All I could think about now is that I'm not good enough. Just don't speak up, don't stand out, fear failure. Just don't embarrass yourself, please. These were my ropes. This isn't just my story. This is yours as well. You might have thought to yourself sometimes, I can't talk to them because people will think I'm weird. I can't fail because everyone will be disappointed at me. You know what? I'm too old for this. I can't change careers. All of these ropes are holding us back. But the ones making these ropes are you. We find ourselves giving in to other people's opinions when we should have been trusting our own voice right here. Staying quiet when we should have spoken. And blending in when we would have been happier if we had the courage to stand out and express our true feelings right here. My beliefs affected the way I saw the world around me, and it changed how I acted, which led to an unsatisfying life full of resentment and hatred. So, how do we stop it, you ask? Try asking yourself, just take the time to think, what if my beliefs are wrong? What are my beliefs actually doing to me? Are my beliefs actually beneficial? Are there other beliefs out there that might actually benefit me more? If you just take the simple time to contemplate and think about this, then I can 100% guarantee you will have an easier time believing in yourself more. If only you believed in yourself more. If only you had the courage to stand up for yourself. If you know what's best for you, then go for it. Doesn't matter what other people think. If you know that you're right, then stand up for it. Worst case scenario, what do we have to lose? It's the best thing you have to do and it's right. So stand up for it. This is the main reason why life is an illusion. If you think about it, life is an ever-changing reality created by your own perception. That's why it's not about what we see, but how we see it. It's the same thing with beliefs. Believing is seeing. And what makes us truly amazing as children is we live in a world before ropes, in a world before we were judged by society, in a world before being afraid of failure was even a thing, in a world before giving up even existed. As children, when we fall, we get right back up again, unyielding. It's a gift in a world in which nothing, literally nothing, is holding us back from our full capacity. So let me give you this final reminder. The only thing limiting you is yourself. So just believe in yourself more and embrace yourself instead. Only when you have changed the way you see yourself will you see changes in the world around you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome, awesome.
Nice choice, Jose.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
I feel like it's like you go through this yourself. You speak as if this is your life, and we can sense the authenticity, the sincerity, the honesty, the you in this speech. This is really very, very important. Your time was just about 8 minutes, just before 8 minutes. So yeah, so if you want to be education 10 minutes, you make full use of the 10 minutes. If 7 minutes, then you got to trim it down a little bit. Okay, excellent speech. Ita, you go first.
Well done. I'm very, very proud to Indonesian youth today. See, Indonesian human resource is very, very incredible, and we proud of you, Jose, to Tricia, and Indonesia depends on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, really, really. It's really
Support.
good.
Wow. Okay. I think it's a very what do I say? It's brilliant to choose the title and theme, so the audience will not feel guilty to like, who they feel like must be interest and enthusiastic to listen your speech from the beginning until the end, and I feel like to listen again and again. Wow. I think it's not only like a story. You speak like a storytelling, but not storytelling, right? But I don't know how to say. I don't know, Mr. Benteng, but I'm proud of you, Jose. Good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ita. Oh my
Anything you want to recommend he can do to make it even better, Ita?
I need criticism, please.
No, I must learn from you.
Oh my God.
Oh, I must learn from you, but go for Agora champion.
Yeah, all right.
Because Singapore doesn't have a youth, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, now Trisha, help your competitor.
Oh yeah, Miss Ita, which category are you going to be taking?
Category for what?
For
I
the
will
speech contest?
no. I will not join the competition. I just support for.
I think she got frightened off already.
I become cheerleader. Go, Jose. Go, Tricia. Because the proud of Indonesian youth.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Mr. Benteng doesn't have a youth, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, even our seniors cannot compete with your youth.
Mr. Benteng only has grandchildren.
Okay, Trisha, now you help Jose make it better.
I've listened to this speech almost. This is the third time
Yes,
that
this is the
Jose
third
has
time
presented
Trisha
this
heard me.
in front of my very eyes, and I think that wow, it gets better each time. Last time I gave a little bit of my 2 cents by pacing the quotes because he had many great quotes, and also what's that sayings about how we should see we should see the change in ourselves, and we'll be able to see the change in the world as well, and the desperate situation on how we are always tied with these ropes, and they're my parents. So it's amazing how you're able to make lots of meaningful words become a very illustrious and colorful present for us. You know, you have this way of speaking that just makes us feel like we are together with somebody that we love and care so much about. We will listen to anything that you say, and we consider that as a gold mine. We see that as a gem, everything that you say. I honestly don't know what else to say. Already, you know, Jose, if I ever retire from Agora, I am gonna be putting you first in charge. He is the next generation. I mean, we're kind of
Oh
on the
my
same
God.
generation, but maybe something that I feel like would be Banpeng, you did say that physical props may grant more points, I believe.
No,
Aside from
yeah,
props that you show on screen.
yeah, I'm not sure how the judges will react. I'm just toying with the idea that some judges are very straight and narrow. So if they see the judging criteria says props, and you have only one prop versus somebody else has more props, some judges will say the guy got more props, I give him more points, for example.
Okay.
But then there are judges who don't care about the judging criteria. They look at the overall impact Right? So
Okay.
that's why Richard say you need a wide variety of people in the panel of
Right.
judges.
So that means, yeah, it all comes down to, in Indonesia, we call it selera or taste, the taste
Yes,
of people.
we would call it
Now,
taste.
in that case, I will take one of the feedbacks that I received a very long time ago from Raju. And one of the things that he said, he is also a part of the Agora community. Really hope that we can see him again sometime soon. He said that using slides can be a little distracting, especially when it's only a one-time show, like what you did during the opening of your speech. You showed a picture of the elephant with a rope. Now, when we do it online, there's a split second where the screen changes to the picture, and then you become this small box on the very side of the screen, and then it changes back. Maybe that's what some people may prefer not having slides because it can be distracting. See from that perspective. So maybe one thing that you can consider for the opening is that I really love that you're showing the picture, but you can perhaps hold the picture in your hand instead.
Oh, yeah,
So maybe you can have a printed picture of the elephant, or if you have a miniature figure of an elephant and you just tie it to a rope and just show it to the group, that would be a lot better as well. So
Well,
you
it
won't
is possible.
the attention won't be derived away from you. It's still on you. You just show something, and that's the props that you have to the screen. That's maybe something I'm going to consider as well instead of using slides. So,
If you cannot
since
find an
you're not
elephant,
using slides at all, it's not something that will be present in your speech from the beginning to the end. You can just consider using props. So a miniature elephant would be nice, maybe. Yeah, there you
yeah,
go. That's my
thank you,
suggestion.
Trisha, thank you. So Jose, if you cannot find the elephant, you can bring Mike Nicholson to the room. Where are you? I lost your picture.
Perhaps.
There you are. There you are. Now we better get some real expert advice. Richard, can you help us, Richard?
Alamak, me again.
Alamak. Oh my God.
Okay, Jose, I'm glad you just did it. You didn't postpone your speech. So nobody knows whether you're prepared or you're not prepared. As long as you don't use the word, I'm not prepared. You are a very strong contender to Asia, neck to neck, nose to nose. I have scribbled some items just for you to consider. There were many, many instances for you to explore and to incorporate where intensity in the tone of your voice of certain words, like I've said, to come across as believable and credible in what you share. First, how did you start your speech? I want you to imagine. The first 4 words are, to me, unnecessary. I want you to start with the word imagine. Imagine. And increase the tone of your voice. And after that word, pause. Imagine. Because it can become very, very dramatic. And the purpose is to have the effect and the impact of what the words are to follow. Okay? Imagine. Pause, and then you continue. So that will capture and captivate the attention of the audience. I've taken now a couple of words whereby you can increase the volume of the voice, the tone of the voice, and the intensity. For example, when you said, try as hard as it can, referring to the elephant, why not stress on the word hard? Try as hard as it can, meaning the elephant really tried very hard. Something intangible. Stress on the word intangible, something intangible. The next would be the word belief. The belief it can break free. The belief that it can break free. So stress on word believe and can. And then you introduce yourself. I have heard this many, many times. When the speaker goes to the front, and after the MC has already introduced the speaker will mention his or her name again. And this is what you say. My name is Jose. It has become a cliche. It's a very weak, very still, very feeble use of words. Unnecessary. So if you love the sound of your name, make it differently. Jose is what people call me. Or Jose is my name. Instead of my name is Jose. Very, very cliche. Change. You have one very, very strong advantage. Same as Trisha. Sorry, I get the name incorrect. Trisha, correct. Now, what is your advantage? Both of you have the very, very pleasant disposition. That is the reason I cannot switch on my video. I look very unfriendly. I look very unapproachable. I am very, very serious. How I look fierce. I look intimidating. All these years, I've been told that's my nature, unless I go for plastic surgery. So you have this very, very pleasant disposition. So that is your advantage. Very likable. The next would be the word feelings. All these feelings, stress on that feelings, all these feelings without any ropes. Again, stress on the word any, without any ropes. And I feel that this is one of the sub messages, without any ropes attached to us. You're using the analogy, the comparison, the elephant being tied to the rope, and we human beings, metaphorically, figuratively, without any ropes attached to us. So that was a very, very strong sub-message that you have for us. And our next example will be, I'm not good enough. I am not good enough. Where the pacing is concerned, do strike a balance. Because if the pacing is the same throughout, it becomes a monotony. So to break the monotony, strike a balance. And that I leave it to you. At times, you need to quicken the pace. Where you feel that you should quicken the pace, be fast. And at times where you need to slow down. So do strike a balance. At times, speak a little bit faster. And at times, do slow down. So at least you have a balance. But overall, I like your pacing. Not rushed, not draggy. That is my style. When I speak, when I present, I'm not a fast talker. I'm not very draggy, but I strike a balance. So that is your advantage. Another example is when you say 100%, 100%. Stress on the word 100%. Another example is if only you believe in yourself. Another sub-message, if only you believe in yourself. So this is another sub-message. Another example is stand up for it. Stress on the word stand up for it. Go for it. Stress on the word go. Next example will be nothing will hold us back. Nothing will hold us back. Just believe in yourself. I would suggest that you change the word yourself. You tell others to believe in themselves. How about ourselves? I must also believe in myself. So I suggest that you change the word yourself to ourselves. Just believe in ourselves. That means I'm also part of you. I'm not the authoritarian. I'm not telling you to believe in yourself, but myself too. I'm telling myself, I'm reminding myself, just believe in ourselves. Finally, in any speech, to me, it is unnecessary to thank the audience. Although you may wish to be polite, thank you, unnecessary. So when you end your speech, have a long pause, couple of seconds. You finish the last line, pause, and then over to you. Sir, over to you, Madam Toastmaster. In conclusion, as I've said earlier, seriously, I've heard many speeches in the many years. You have put many adults to shame, both you and Trisha. Both of you, really. You're 18 or 17 or 19, same category. Really, Bumping can attest to it. Many Toastmasters, senior in age, long time in Toastmasters, they are not able to hold a candle to both of you. Really, I'm very direct. Your command of the language, both of you, is definitely above average. Clarity, intensity could be improved. Audibility is definitely there. Finally, maybe you like to consider, apart from Agora, to join my club, which is a Toastmasters club. I also have an Indonesian girl. She is based in Batam. She also speaks very well. We have hybrid meetings on the first and the third Monday. First and third Monday. Maybe you can just observe and listen and participate. And I would like to show to some of the other members, look at these two young teenagers. They can speak so well. So guys, better buck up and do something about it. So leave me your email address or whatever, and I'll invite both of you. Okay, all the very best.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. We really have a treat tonight. I'm very grateful, honestly. Richard, I must thank you very much. This is, I must be, if not the best, ranked as one of the best we have ever had. So after so many years, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, now I will also share a little bit of my observation. I am not in the same caliber with Richard, except in the face. I'm also as as ugly as him. not so not so. I mean, stern and look unapproachable. Yeah, I actually very nice, as you see. Okay, now my observation. I felt your using of the elephant and the rope as a metaphor to show how we are shackled, how we are chained, how we are imprisoned by our beliefs. I thought that metaphor is really powerful and noted by Tricia and Richard as well. What we can do is to look back to your conclusion when you end the speech, bring that up again, because otherwise your opening stands alone. It's not connected to the conclusion of your speech, right? So you can always ask them, do you want to remain shackled to this invisible rope that you have created in your mind, right? So things like that, you think of how to word it, but basically I want you to round it back to the conclusion, right? So that's number one. Number two, while I enjoy the speech very much, I have this thing in my mind that you are preaching your theory to me. You have all these ideas and beliefs, and you are just like a preacher on the pulpit preaching to me on a Sunday morning. So I think I can enjoy the message better if I can feel that you are sharing something precious with me, not so much preaching. Sharing means a slightly different approach, perhaps stories. Now you share a lot of theory, and some maybe, I do not know whether it's your personal story or of this suffering, the fear, the insecurity, the being invisible, trying to stay quiet, and the resentment and the hatred. it can be presented maybe as incidents in your life. So incident story means you need you got to look a little bit into the storytelling part of the training, where you need to have the time, the place, the plot, the setting, and whatever, right? You need to do that, and the characters, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 characters involved. So if you share story to reveal the problem before you share, hey, there's actually a solution. We need not suffer like that forever. Okay, then to me, it will be like more palatable than some preacher just throwing out a lot of theory to me, right? So I felt that's what I feel, and all those things you share, I felt it's really relevant, right? Other people's opinion is not important to us, right? We must believe in ourselves. Our opinion counts and things like that. And if children grow up, when children fall down, they get up. What happened to us? Why, when we fall down, we feel so sad, we lie down there forever, right? So things like that can be built into little stories. Okay, so that is the points I've noted that I could share, that is I felt could be meaningful if you are able to apply it to enhance it somehow. Okay, maybe Jose, you share some of your reaction to all these points that we are talking to you about.
Okay, thank you, Ben Peng. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is actually, I needed this a lot. I know I know I'm kind of good, but I don't know how to improve myself more. So I need like this criticism a lot. And now, oh, these are the things that I'm lacking. So yeah, thank you very much. And from what you said, Ben Peng and Richard and Trisha, Miss Ida as well, I could see now like what I need to improve and what my advantages are, what my positive sides are, and what I need to enhance on to make more better speech and to be a more better speaker as well. So yeah. However, I have a question. I don't think this would precisely like fit the education criteria. So I think the scoring would not be maximal, just like I said. That's why I'm actually trying to make another speech that would fit in the criteria. But thank you for the feedback. It means a lot.
Yeah, education, you got to do a little bit like Tricia, quote authority, quote the sources, quote things like that. Yeah. Okay, I think this could be very good for social awareness, because that's really a social problem, right? And you are addressing it. So I felt that is something. Tricia, any closing ideas?
Oh, sorry, Ben Peng, can you repeat that?
No, we are. Do you want to present another speech, or are we ready to end this session?
Oh, okay. I believe I will present my speech next week for the storytelling one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will have to take my leave very soon as well.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a cockroach crisis downstairs.
Okay.
And
so
I will have to tend to that as well, perhaps.
so maybe we take a screenshot and just for our thing. Okay, are you ready? Thumbs up, come. 1, 2, 3, screenshot. Charan, look at me, Charan. I think
Is
it's
Sharon
rested.
asleep?
Okay, never mind. We just take the. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. I think I may be pressing the wrong button. Nothing happens. Oh yeah, it came up.
Would you like me to take the picture, Ben Peng? I can take the picture.
Okay,
as well.
you take the pictures.
All right. Okay. I will put the snipping tool up here. All right,
Lisa.
everyone. Give me your best smiles. Here we go. Yes, do the heart. Okay. 3, 2, 1, cheese.
Charan has dozed
Okay.
off.
Thank you.
We got it. I will send it to, should I send it to the contest group?
Yeah,
Ben Peng?
please do that.
All right.
Richard, I hope you don't mind. We have recorded
Yes.
this, and
Sure.
actually we want to post it on our little YouTube channel for our contestants to learn together.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very
Permission
much.
granted.
Thank you.
Permission
Thank you.
granted.
Okay,
Does it
bye.
the real? Does it the real picture of Mr. Richard?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He don't look quite as bad as me. Yeah. Okay, bye bye everyone.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye
Banteng.
bye.
Very
Thank you,
much.
Isha. Thank you, Isha. Thank you, Jose.
All the best.
Yeah,
Big
thank you.
thank you to
Bye.
Richard. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye,
Bye to
Charan. We are
everyone.
ending.